hold on. I have to sneeze. Just kidding. It went away. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mind Castle, where we discuss fun things that we learn and stuff that we find interesting and share with you guys. So it's a good time. And today we're going to talk about traveling and experiences and sleep-deprived Austin.
Yeah, so you need to give some backstory.
Yes.
Because you're sitting over there looking pretty not fresh.
I'm not fresh.
So can you explain the situation?
So first of all, I just got back from Belize, which was fantastic, to say the least. But here's the dealio. Belize is not easy to fly into and out of. Almost all of the tickets were like 25-hour long flights, and I was not about to do that. The only other alternative that wasn't like $800 was to fly out at like 6 a.m. and land at like 2 a.m. So I got up at 3 to leave, flew out, it was great, slept and all that fun stuff. And then on my way home, my flight got delayed. So instead of like 1, it was like 2. And then it was an hour back home. And so I got back home this morning at 3, was very sunburnt. And so I took a cold shower, which really helped. And then, I went to bed at like 3:30 and then got up at 6:30 to go to work because I'm a responsible adult sometimes. So yeah, I'm pretty much toasted at this point. I was actually kind of surprised with how well I was surviving. It was kind of that thing where I wasn't really that tired, but I just could tell that I wasn't all there. It's kind of not a good feeling. So I took a nap. And here we are.
Yeah, you really don't quite sound 100%.
I just woke up. I literally just woke up. So I'm banging on about 2.5 cylinders right now.
2.5. That's not bad.
Yeah.
It could be worse. So here's what I don't understand. This is getting a bit nitpicky here. 25 hours to get to Belize? Belize is like from here to not very far away. 25 hours. You could fly to like anywhere in the world. Well, like literally for 25 hours. Like
changing airlines and stuff halfway through and different separate tickets. And
why?
It was dumb.
Sorry,
did you turn my mic down?
No, I turned my mic down.
Turn mine up a little bit.
Hold up.
Technical difficulties.
Well, was it worth it?
Oh, yeah. Dude, it was amazing. I was there for 1 week, Wednesday to Wednesday. It was, so I haven't been out of the country in a long time. It's been like 2 years since I've been out. And it was a great experience. I went with 10 other people, which are like my best homies. Went to Bible school with them. And we've been hanging out and having a fun time after Bible school, having reunions and parties and hanging out and stuff. The problem is that they all kind of live in the same area. And I am like 9 hours away from that area. So having a excuse to go hang out with them for an entire week on this amazing adventure was pretty much a no-brainer.
Okay, so this almost brings us around to like why we're even doing this podcast to begin with. But if you happen to follow Austin and I on YouTube, you will see we travel a lot.
Yes.
I
try.
I mean, yeah. So last trip you took was, you said 2 years ago? Where was that to? You're getting a phone call.
Yeah, I declined it.
Okay.
Dramatically. 2 years ago, that was to Mexico.
Right before pandemic.
Yes, right before pandemic.
Because I kind of wrecked everything from there. But like, okay, so here's something that surprises me. But like, okay, so we live in southern Tennessee. People around here don't travel at all. Like at all. So when I tell people like what my job is, because it involves a lot of travel, they're just like, what? Yeah, they don't understand it. And for me, I'm so used to it. It's like, I can't imagine a life any other way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that is. I can't figure that part out about myself. Why is it for you? Like, why do you travel? Like, what got you started? Because there are so many people that are just like, nah, there's no reason to. It costs a lot of money and it takes a lot of time. Like, so, I'm fine. Like,
before we do that, let me complain just a little bit. Did you know that Belize does not do digital electronic tickets? I waited like 30 minutes in the security line, and I get up to the front, and he's like, we don't accept these because we have to type them all manually into our computer. We don't have scanners here, man. So go back down there, check in, recheck in, because I checked in mobily, print out your like little paper slips, and then wait in line another like 30 minutes, and then come up here. I was not happy.
You are lucky you didn't miss your flight.
Well, I was there with a group of my friends because they were leaving at 12:30 and I was leaving at 3. So I had plenty of time, but they were all through like right about to board. And I was like, man, I'm not even going to get to say goodbye to my friends because we had different layovers and stuff. They all flew out of Pennsylvania and I flew out of Tennessee. So they were going to.
But did they have printed boarding passes?
They did. Yeah.
So first rule, traveling internationally, you always print your boarding pass.
It's so dumb.
No, it's 100% a thing. Like you would always print your boarding pass because your phone could die. You could lose your phone. Their systems could be down. They could be having a bad day and say, I want to see this on real pen and paper. Crazy. I know it's crazy, but I always print them because I've had too many problems like that. So, oops.
Well,
now you know. That's hilarious. I've never had anything quite like that, though, to be honest. Like the last time I had my printing boarding passes, it actually got me in trouble because of COVID restrictions. I handed them my boarding pass, and they're like, well, we need to see your boarding pass. Cool. I'm getting on the plane. This is the last trip out of the country I did. It was actually this last January. And I had my whole stack of boarding passes there. I mean, you always keep them together. And so I just hand that to them, and they're like going to scan it. And they're like, wait a second, you have like 2 layovers inside the Schengen. I was like, okay, cool. And they're like, you can't do that. That's illegal. It's like, what is it? Well, apparently the Schengen region is the border-free zone of the European Union. Because of COVID, you can't have a double layover in there because they can't track where you've been because of tracking virus spread and stuff. And I was like, you guys sold me the plane ticket. You sold me an illegal plane ticket? And they're like, yep, we are very, very sorry about that. But that is not allowed. Like you actually legitimately, we cannot let you on this airplane. And I'm like, what do I do? So printed boarding passes got me in trouble. If it had been digital, they couldn't have seen the whole stack and seen that I had a double Schengen layover. They never would have caught me.
Then you could have been illegal and been just fine.
And nobody would have cared. That's the thing. They were like, oh, this is stupid. They're like, we're so sorry. Like we can't let you on the plane, but I really wish he actually told me this. He's like, I wish I wouldn't have seen your tickets because then I could have just let you on this plane and nobody would have known. So
I see. Yeah. So anyway, that's me complaining about Belize.
That's me complaining about the double Schengen. Seriously, Schengen, change that.
Yeah. What was your question? Why do I travel?
Yeah, so back to ground zero here.
Yeah, ground zero.
So, but like, why? Like, I've never actually took the time to think about like why for me, it's just so part of life. But you got started. How did you get started?
So well, when I think of travel, I don't think as much about international travel probably as you would. Like I travel a lot, like almost every weekend, but it's usually within the States. It's usually driving. So there's that aspect of it that is like very frequent. Like if I'm home for like a month straight, I'm like going crazy. What's next? I got to do something. I think what got me started would have originally been John, our oldest brother, took me to Rome, Italy. We stopped in at London on the way there. Had a 6 or 8 hour layover, so we traipsed around there for a while.
Ooh, sweet.
Spent like a week in the Vatican and in Rome and exploring all of that. Fun fact, that was when I decided to make my YouTube channel because I wanted to document that trip.
Now, okay, just for posterity's sake, why you had a YouTube channel before that, right? You did, because you were doing like fishing videos and just kind of this and that.
No, that was after.
That was after. So, because I remember watching it, because so you and John went, and the rest of the fam is back here. And we're like, I wonder what they're doing. Because, John, if you're listening to this, you were really bad at reporting back to us. So like he would travel. John travels a ton, or used to travel a ton. And he would like go to Thailand for like months and we wouldn't hear zero. Like we were like, well, I guess he's okay. Because he would never email or call or message or nothing. But when you went with him, we at least knew what was happening because there were videos happening. Mm-hmm. You were like sending us snippets. And that actually helped me see how important it is to document your travels.
Oh, yeah.
Which we did a whole podcast on that, so we won't get into it. But it was really interesting because I was like, hey, I wonder what Rome is like. I'd like to go someday. I could just watch your little videos that you're putting up on YouTube. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was amazing. And so that was what got me started originally, I would say. And the level of like worldview openage that happened, I started seeing the world in a totally different light, and it's not like I saw something new. It was just what I thought I knew got expanded, and so my capacity to understand was stretched. I saw that, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And I really liked culture. I guess the culture and like the people were my favorite because every culture has its own little quirks and its own differences. Like in Rome, there's just certain kinds of like there's certain colors and things that you don't really wear. Like if you do, it's not really like a big deal, but like depending on the certain time of the day, there's different like kind of social dress codes, at least kind of when I was there. You know, people would like kind of look at you weird if you're wearing wrong colors.
What color?
I don't remember exactly all of them, but red was one of them, if I remember correctly. And then as the nightlife would come out, the colors like would gradually change darker. So if you walked out at night, almost everybody again, this is personal perception and I could be wrong here, but people that I would see would be like almost always in black. But yeah, like really bright and obnoxious colors, like really flashy colors. Like people would look at you weird. Like I wore a really bright red like sweater one time. And like I changed like halfway through the day because it was like people were like not like it was the kind of that thing where they would look in and be like almost bothered by it. Okay, I'll take it off.
That's crazy. Okay, that's kind of cool. Like,
so I don't know if that's everywhere or if that was just me or maybe just my hairstyle looked terrible that day. I don't know, but it just felt like that's part of what it was because it was like it stood out so much or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so that was one thing there. So like then with Mexico, the culture there is very laid back and just really, really chill. You know, there's siestas and just everything closes down and there's always music playing in the streets and like people are running up and down with their like, accordions and stuff, playing their music and trucks driving around announcing over the loudspeakers, like, you know, buy my water and you know there was all kinds of stuff, you know,
that is so
drinks
cool.
and stuff. Like they would have it on recording with these big trucks rolling around and then Belize was kind of like Mexico in some ways, but it was much more chill. Like people would joke around with you way quicker. It was actually really fun. Like the waiter would come, like, you know, hand you a glass of water or something and just like make a joke out of it. And like everybody would be loose and just laughing. And like, it was just really great time. Or you'd bump into someone on the street or something and they'd like, it was entertaining. Like they would turn everything into like something entertaining. Their default was not like annoyed like most of us Americans would be. So like that part of it too is cool. Just expanding my perception of the world. I would say that's the largest reason I travel internationally. When I travel within the States, the largest reason is because I want to visit my friends and experience, you know, new things with my friends, make new memories, build new relationships, play volleyball.
So I guess the idea is the investment in building your world, so to speak, or building the relationships that come from travel, make the financial cost worth it. So basically you're exchanging money for an experience and relationships and memories.
Right. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Definitely. And the best part about this Belizean trip was doing all of that with my friends because relationships are really important to me. That's why I travel, you know, thousands of miles just to hang out with my friends. The fact that I could combine those two was really cool. Just the amount of shared experiences we had and really awesome memories and funny moments and all of that stuff was just amazing. And a lot of that I documented through photo or video, and then I'm going to make like a highlights reel of the trip, like a memories reel, not necessarily to post, just more for our group.
Oh, you didn't make any videos while you're down there for your YouTube channel?
No.
Oh, man.
I could have made some pretty sweet ones.
You should
We
have.
did some awesome stuff.
Dude, what? Like, what do you... Oh, man. That would have been really neat to watch. Well, everybody listening to the podcast, give him bad feedback and be like, hey, you need to make videos.
So my channel's not really a vlogging channel anymore.
No, not necessarily a vlogging channel, but like it's a good opportunity to show stuff. Mm-hmm. That's what I did on my last trip to Kosovo.
Yeah.
It was more like, it wasn't vlogs. It was like, here
it would
is
have
a
made
thing
our
to
group
learn.
very uncomfortable.
Oh, like that. Okay, I
Yep.
go. Yeah. Well, I just used my phone. I didn't even use my camera at all.
Yeah.
When I was there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I did that too. Some.
Okay.
I got some stuff, but it wasn't like I was vlogging or telling a story, but I did get some sweet videos.
As long as, I think the key here, and this is an episode again on this podcast, is documenting that stuff. Because man, the memory fade curve is steep.
It is.
It's incredible how much that trip in the moment, you're like, dude, this is so legit. And then 5 years from now, You'd be like, when did we go on that trip? Wait, where did we go again? Oh yeah, that's right. We went to Belize. You know, seriously, you might actually forget that one day.
Yeah.
Which is really sad. So if you have good records, I am notorious about like, here's something I do. I keep all my plane tickets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I keep every like travel documentation that goes with me. I just toss it in a folder in my filing cabinet. Why not? I got plenty of space. And then sometimes it's kind of fun to flip through and it's like, oh yeah, here's this little thing that someone gave me, or here's this info pamphlet from Austria or something. I don't know. It's just kind of fun. It's, you know, but yeah.
That's a really good idea. I don't travel that much quite yet, I don't think. But when I start going a little bit more often, I'm going to do something like that. This trip was especially bad for that because the group kind of planned, well, not the group, there was like a planning committee and they planned like most of it. And then I just like felt like I just jumped along for the ride. And so I had no idea what was happening when I landed. I was like,
that is great.
I was like, am I going to even have service here? Oh, wait, Verizon doesn't work. Well, I guess I don't have service. All right, where's some Wi-Fi? All right. Where are the people at? Did they land already? Like,
oh my goodness, bro. You should tell. Okay, so not sponsored, but there's this thing called the Soulless Skyroam Wi-Fi device. It works anywhere in the world. Unlimited global internet.
Whoa.
For like $100.
That's cool.
Yeah, I take everywhere I go. That thing goes with me, and the battery life's insane. It'll go all day. So we were like, we don't even have to worry about our phones working. You just toss that thing in your camera bag. Boom.
Nice.
Boom.
I did pack for an entire week in a tiny little duffel bag.
Nice.
Felt pretty proud about that.
Oh, by the way, pro tip for those listening. If you ever travel internationally, don't check baggage. It's a terrible idea. Just put it all in a backpack.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we went snorkeling and stuff, swam with sea turtles and stingrays and sharks and stuff.
Tell me you got a GoPro of like the shark. Oh man.
It would have been incredible. We swam by a really cool reef. It was fun.
That's awesome. This is interesting. I've never been to South America or Central America. Outside of Mexico, I guess. But
we went to some ruins there too.
Ooh, like Mayan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Get to see all that fun stuff.
I would love to. So like most of your trips, so back to the whole travel thing and why you do it. Most of your trips have not been out of country.
No, very few actually. Only like 4 or 5.
Where all?
Canada, if you want to count that. Mexico, Rome, London, UK, that area place. Belize, and did I say Mexico? Mm-hmm. Okay, so 5.
5 countries? Yeah, 5 countries. Plus America. So you've been to 6.
6.
That means you need 2 hands to count them.
Yes.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yes.
So yeah, the fact that I flew out of country first when I was 17, I feel like is pretty cool. Like most people don't have that opportunity.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet.
Well, that was kind of what I was curious about, like, because you got started early. I didn't get started early. And that was kind of why I was curious, like, because there's something in there that's like, I'm going to do this and I place value on this. A lot of people don't really. And that's totally fine. Like some people are totally cool with not traveling. Like I got some great friends that are, I mean, man, they just about can't stand it. They just want to get home, you know? And that's great. Like that, you know, I don't mind that at all. But the part that does bother me is there's people out there that I think would love traveling. It's just never entered their brain that they could do it.
Oh yeah.
And I think what worked for you was like having an older brother that says, hey, this is pretty awesome. And I will take you on a trip.
Yeah.
That really does something for someone, honestly, like especially at that age.
Yeah,
which because it's interesting. The first time I went out of country, outside of touching my toe on the other side of Canada when I was like 10, was also our older brother John coming along on a trip that I took to the Middle East. And I was hoping to go, but I was feeling very overwhelmed and like I'd never done this before. And he's like, hey, that's no big deal. I'll just come along. I mean, how hard are you going to be? You know, piece of cake. And having someone who had traveled the world extensively, he has traveled quite a bit, doing missions and stuff. That was pretty awesome. And I learned so much, and it built the confidence in me because then next time around I was traveling solo because I got lost, like I lost my team halfway. There's some mess ups on the flight. So I ended up traveling to the other side of the world all by myself, trying to find a taxi to go like 3 hours through the middle of the desert to a remote village in the mountains.
That's fun.
And they didn't speak any English.
Did you hear about Sean and Kyle when they went down to Mexico?
Oh, snap. No, I didn't.
They had almost the exact same thing. Well, okay, not quite, but they flew down and then I forget all the details, but on the way back, I think he had a positive COVID test.
Oh,
and so he couldn't fly out of Mexico, but if he flew within the States, something with that, they would let him fly.
Well, because you don't need a test to fly inside America.
Right.
Yeah.
So they had to bus. So, okay, they took a taxi.
Which, just to stop you right there, we are not endorsing unethical travel policies. It was a false positive. Like, he legitimately did not have COVID, but they there's like a 10% or whatever are false positives.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's like, bro, like, it's a false positive. Like, I don't have COVID. Like, I'm perfectly fine.
Right.
So in this case, not trying to hijack the system.
Right. Definitely not. So they had to I forget what all they had to do. They had to take a taxi like a couple hours, then they had to bus for like a couple hours, like all through the night. And then they had to like get I want to say they like had to try to get a hotel somewhere, but they couldn't. And so they had to like stay with a family or something. I can't remember all of those details, but it was sketchy, whatever happened. But I was just like listening to this whole thing. I was like, dude, that is amazing. Like, I wouldn't have known how to do most of that. Like that.
I mean, did they know Spanish at all?
No.
Oh man, that makes it even more interesting.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So they had a good time.
So then they crossed by land.
Right.
At
and
the border.
then bought new tickets and flew back.
That's hilarious.
It's pretty crazy.
But see, even something like that probably built so much confidence and resiliency within them as human beings that will pay them massive dividends.
Mm-hmm.
Even financial dividends. Like, people say, oh, I can't travel because it costs money. I'm like, man, like, it's going to teach you skills that'll make you valuable in the job market. Like, really, really valuable. Him being able to handle that and make a call and push through makes him more valuable now in the job market. So, hey, you could make the argument he made money doing that because now he has a skill and a mindset that was built in him by having to push through a situation that was very uncomfortable. And now he's more prepared for life, you know, which is awesome. And that's one of the foundational reasons why travel is good, because it stretches you.
Oh, it stretches you like crazy.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to do yet this year, I'm not sure if it's going to happen because getting a rental car might be difficult, but I'd love to travel internationally by myself. I've always ever gone with someone.
Yeah. It depends on where you go. Because if you go Europe, you don't need a car.
Mm-hmm.
You straight it would be a hassle and would actually get in the way. So,
well, I'm thinking somewhere not terribly busy. Like, I'm thinking like a 4 or 5 day de-stress trip.
Oh, I got the solution for you.
What's that?
So fly to Austria because we got friends over there, and we can hook you up for like the most legit remote Alps stay that you can imagine.
Yeah. Yes.
And when I say like the Alps are, I think, the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm not even going to attempt to describe. Like, it's there. There's like, how does the world look like this? This is crazy. This is crazy. So for points of reference, took a sabbatical last year with my wife because we had a lot of credit card points, and we're like, we can fly somewhere really far for free. So let's find a place to go. And we're like, dude, we've always wanted to go to the Alps. Let's go to the Alps for 2 weeks. So we did. And made friends over there. And yeah, you can like pick a little Airbnb in the mountains someplace and away you go.
I'd be down. I feel like that'd be really fun.
It's super good for you.
I've only ever experienced like international travel with other people. And I do want to do it where I'm completely in control and can make my own decisions, because I feel like that would actually make me stretch more, because I'm not relying on other people. Like this last trip, I did like zero planning, nothing. Like I just kind of showed up and was there. Which was great.
Yeah.
I still learned a lot, and it was really, really fun because of that. But I wasn't terribly invested in the trip. So like even remembering it is kind of difficult.
Well, but see, the point of this last trip you did was more the friendships, not seeing Belize.
Exactly.
Like if you wanted to go experience Belize, it probably made more sense to plan more of it yourself and be more involved. But in this case, no, you're there to build relationships. You know, it's a fundamentally different thing.
It is, yeah.
The whole traveling by yourself internationally thing, I don't know. Like I haven't enjoyed that much. It's just kind of like, yeah, cool, whatever. For me, it's about the people you do it with. For me, so try it and see. You may love it. You may be like, yeah, it's kind of whatever. You know, it'll be good for you. Either way, it's going to be super good for you. Okay, so here's another thing. I'm going to ask two things of you, the audience, and the first one is, where should Austin travel by himself, and what should he do? We will take all options, including like camping on the top of an active volcano in Guatemala, or skiing down the Swiss Alps, or climbing the Eiffel Tower with his bare hands. Okay, you're actually not allowed to do that. Very illegal. Paragliding in South Africa, or you could go shark watching somewhere cool.
Okay, yeah, South Africa. Let's go.
Yes, or you could go to, I don't know, Australia and hang out with kangaroos or something. Anyways, let us know in the comments what you think he should do. And the other question is, these podcasts, we typically try to keep around 20, 25 minutes. This one's more like in the more than that range. What length do you like our podcast to be? Because it might be helpful to know.
Did you know that there's something called the huge blue hole in Belize?
Dude, I've heard of this thing, and it looks like a portal into another dimension, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know what's even cooler about the huge blue hole?
What's at the bottom of it?
Probably skeletons. I don't know.
Oh, no, I thought that was what was cooler than the, never mind.
No. So there is a guided tour that allows you to skydive into the blue hole. You land in the water next to the dive boat and snorkel / you can snorkel or you can scuba dive straight in.
How is that safe?
Don't know, but isn't that awesome?
Whoa, yeah. Okay, that sounds really sketchy, but it sounds
you
cool.
You have to be certified in order to do it. Like, you can't go with an instructor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to solo.
Dude.
So we couldn't go.
I got that. I can handle this.
I wanted to do that, but it didn't quite work out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super cool, though.
So solo traveling, I want to go somewhere cool that's like remote.
Oh.
And that
I got you.
So just kind of something small, cheapish, just to kind of get out. Not too long, maybe like 5 days, 4 days.
Easter Island.
That would work.
Galapagos Island.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Or
I'm thinking like a think week. Take books and my laptop, do some work.
Well, then you need to go
Chill.
to the world's largest rainforest. Do you know where the world's largest rainforest is?
Yes, that's in California.
Nope.
So close.
Dude, California is semi-arid desert wasteland. What?
Okay, next guess, the Sahara. I don't know.
Come on. Okay, world's largest jungle starts in Oregon, runs up through Washington, all the way up through British Columbia, and touches the southern tip of Alaska, along that
I
coast.
was basically right.
No, you were like 1,000 miles off. But anyways, world's largest rainforest, and it's stunningly beautiful and very, very remote. You can fly into Vancouver and just get a cabin up in the mountains somewhere over the coast, like watching the beautiful coastline, and it's incredible. Yeah,
That'd be sweet.
you need to go. Yeah, that'd be easy.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, that's not challenging. You need something like a challenge. We could get, As you can tell, people, I enjoy travel. I've traveled quite a lot. And don't worry, we will come up with something legit for Austin to do, and it's going to be awesome. The big thing is make sure you play the travel rewards game. People wonder how I can travel so much, and it's, for one, part of my work, part of the job. The other part is travel rewards. It's often free or heavily discounted for me to do these trips, which is really nice. It makes it more sustainable to actually do the thing I'm trying to do, which is humanitarian aid and training people and all kinds of fun stuff. So just to wrap it up here, I'm going to make a video or maybe write a newsletter on this at some point. But these are the main points I'd come up with as I was like thinking about this travel and why do we travel. And there's 3 things that really stick out to me. The first one, you've already talked about this, but really helping me have a more complete or balanced view of the world. The more I travel, the more humble I am with how little I know.
Yeah.
So like, for example, I was in the Balkans region in Kosovo this January. Did you know Kosovo's a country?
Yes.
You're wrong. It's not a country.
Shoot.
Okay, actually it is. See, it depends on who you ask. I didn't know that.
I assumed it was because you went there. So
yeah, see, it's a debated like influx region. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know it was considered a country by some places. And I go there, and I'm really sorry if you're from Kosovo. I do not mean to offend you, but it's just like, I genuinely did not know. And I go there, and we meet these people, and we learn all this cool stuff. I'm like, wow, I learned a whole new thing about the planet and what these people have been through that I had just total ignorance about. That's good for me. And I would love to go back. It's a great place. And that segues into the next point, number 2, is meeting new people, learning new things, and then just getting some space away from normal life. Yeah. Every once in a while, I found for me, it's like once a year or so, don't do a trip for work. Just do a trip to kind of get away for a couple days. It's really good. It's like a big reset button on your life. Yep. And I really recommend it. It could be even as simple, like we're close to Smoky Mountains. Just taking a 1-hour road trip over to the mountains, it may be enough. For me, I like to go out of country, but like something, it doesn't need to be major. Just kind of a bit of a reset for a couple days. Yeah. But here's the last part, and I think this is the most important. The third of these points. It makes life rich and it makes home more sweet. Peter McKinnon has this quote in one of his travel videos. He says, perhaps one of the reasons travel is so good for us is the coming home.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think he's right, because travel would not be sweet if you didn't have a coming home.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you didn't have a coming home, what would you be? A refugee.
A nomad.
Yeah, a nomad, a refugee. And, maybe some people like that, but your whole life, no. There is something beautiful about home and a place where you belong. And it makes us understand that and appreciate that.
Yeah.
So it makes my life richer, but it also makes me appreciate what I have right here, and that's beautiful. And that weirdly almost makes me want to travel more because then I appreciate what I have more.
Yeah.
In a weird way. I don't even know if that makes sense.
Well, the first point, especially, we've talked about some of there are just certain fundamental fabrics of reality that you can't escape. And it's really good to learn more about them, and challenge those, or not challenge those, but understand them, because you can end up living in your own bubble, and you can be that. I could have sat there with that dude up front with the digital ticket and be like, no, you need to accept this. This is the way it is. It's like, no, sorry, buddy, you're wrong. Go out and print another ticket. Because there's things like that where you think you're dead right. And it's just nope, get used to it, buddy.
Well, and that's the thing, that ticket agent, he's just a dude doing his job.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
No, he's just doing his job. He's like, sorry, man, this is what I have to have. No offense, but.
And the second point, reset, that was a huge point for this trip, because this was the first trip in a long time that did that effectively for me. I got back, and aside from being very sunburnt, by the way, I got back and so today was rough because 3 hours of sleep, had to work. It was just a bad day. It was my first mini barn that I couldn't actually get out and actually haul. I failed on a mini barn. That really frustrated me.
Oh man.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. That was annoying, but everything's stacking up. Vincent just put 9 new to-do tasks on our team that I have to tackle. Haven't even looked at them. Myron just let me know, hey, by the way, you're in charge of campfire duty and getting the wood and everything for the camping trip tomorrow. And I got to do that. I haven't even unpacked from my trip because I got home, slept, woke up, went to work, just got back. And so I need to do that. Then I need to pack for this next trip coming up. Then I need to work on the video that I did, a week ago, because I'm 2 videos behind now, and it's all just stacking up. And before that would have just been oh my goodness, this sucks. But now I'm fired up about it. I'm just so energized. I'm yes, it feels so good to hold all of these things again and know that I'm fully capable of absolutely destroying them. That just gets me so excited. And so that reset was very, very important for me,
because you're approaching those challenges not wore out.
Exactly.
That's the thing. If you were kind of tired and wore out, those challenges would be I can't take more on. But when you're charged up properly, it's
right.
Yeah, cool, no big deal. Campfire wood for the thing, yeah, that's easy. Video edit, yeah, no problem. I got that. I know how to do that. But when you're wore down, those little things really get to you after a while, and you're just man, I need a week with no email, and or something, and it's incredibly good for your health. Physically and mentally. Yeah, it's just I don't know if the audience is getting the vibe, but you really do need to travel for those reasons.
Yeah.
Not in selfish, we're not talking those elaborate vacations where you blow all your money kind of thing. In fact, when I'm traveling, I often spend less money than I would if I were home. It's not about that at all. It's about these other things that are more important, and the relationships. And this is kind of the last part of the notes that I put down here is, don't wait for the perfect travel opportunity. Simply grab a friend and get on a plane, expand your world, learn something new, or when you return, home will be that much sweeter. Just try it, just go for it. And again, travel's not for everybody. Some people just really don't like it, and that's fine. That's awesome. But at least try it, if you're not sure.
Yeah.
It's well worth it. And it's not that expensive if you do it right.
It really isn't.
If you do your homework.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that we'll wrap this episode up. Let us know in the comments what you think. Send us a email, write a review. We greatly appreciate it. Let me know where I should travel next to, because this trip was really, really awesome, and I'm itching to do another one now. Let us know where your travel adventures have taken you, because you probably travel more than we do. Maybe that would be cool. Or if you don't travel as much as we do, where are you going to travel next? Let us know. That'd be great. As usual, you can find us on all the social media platforms /interwebs for all of our travel videos. If you want to be cringed out of your mind, you can go watch my Rome vlogs where I'm
Yes.
like, oh my.
Wait, hold up. What year was that? Just to give us.
2017.
Oh, wow. You was like
17.
a very young person. Okay. Yes. But see, that's cool because you got that piece of history
Oh,
to look
absolutely.
back on. You're so glad you did
I
that.
can
aren't
remember
you?
that trip so much better. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
beside the point. But yeah, feel free to go cringe out on that. It'll be a good time. Anyway, until next time, we will catch you later. Bye.